Wrestlers? That is awesome.
But maybe you want something a little bit stronger. So you could use spectacular. For example, I just found this new spectacular pizza place around the corner. You could use stupendous. You could use terrific. For example, if you want to learn natural English, then learning with TV series is a terrific idea. Now, make sure not to confuse terrific with terrible or terrifying, which are words that have more of a negative connotation. Terrific, on the other hand, has a completely positive connotation.
Cousin, you are on the precipice of a stupendous new adventure at the Academy of Unseen Arts. You will meet interesting witches and warlocks from all over the world.
I've got to tell you, Bob is terrific. Yeah, isn't he? Oh, it is so great to meet a guy who's smart and funny and has an emotional age beyond like 8.
You could also say tremendous. For example, I know this guy who's a really tremendous interior decorator. Now, there's some alternatives that are even stronger. So the strongest way that you can kind of show a positive meaning instead of good is to say that something is mind-blowing. That means that it kind of makes your brain explode with how good it is. For example, you could say, that chocolate cake she made was mind-blowing. It's the best chocolate cake I have ever had. You've got to try it.
This is not just another party. This is a leadership training exercise, right? I'm going to combine elements of fun and motivation and education into a single mind-blowing experience.
And a very similar one is out of this world, meaning it's too good to be from the planet Earth.
It's my official NASA portrait.
To Stuart, your comic book store is out of this world, just like the guy in this picture was.
For the record, he also thinks the Walgreens and the dry cleaners are out of this world.
Now, we have a couple alternatives that can be used by men, but much more commonly you'll hear them used by women. These are fabulous, and then you can also shorten it to just fab.
Ruth and I are working together.
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous, Ron. Isn't that fabulous?
Very nice.
So listen, if you were looking for some clothes for work, Nordstrom's having a fabulous sale. I picked up this appropriate little number there.
Now let's look at a couple more. So one of these that you definitely know is cool. You cannot say, how are you, cool, but you can use it to say, how was the movie? It was cool. How was the party? It was cool.
Is that the heartbeat?
That's it.
Oh my God! Oh wow, this is so cool.
Another one natives use all the time is nice. We actually saw an example of this a little bit before. Let's quickly look at that again.
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous, Ron. Isn't that fabulous?
Very nice.
And finally, sweet. Now, we don't only use this to describe desserts, it can also be used to describe something that you find very good. Let's check out an example.
I mean, I'm big and weird and funny looking, and no one ever wants to do anything with me.
Don't say that.
It's okay. I know I'm a monster.
No, Bert, come on. I'd love to go to the mineral show with you.
Sweet. It's a date.
And then we have a few more like this that are only used as adjectives, and that is breathtaking. You could say to die for, or you could say something is otherworldly. Now, this is very similar to the one we saw before, out of this world, but it cannot be used in as many of the same ways, where you could say, how are you? I'm feeling out of this world. This one you would only use to describe things or opinions. So you could say, for example, that the new dance club is otherworldly.
Elaine, do you have children?
Me? Oh, no, but I mean, I'd love to have a baby. I mean, I can't wait to have a baby. I'm just dying to have a baby.
A beautiful woman like you should. You're quite breathtaking.
Breathtaking? I'm breathtaking?
Oh, just look at him.
Yeah, he really is breathtaking.
Oh, you know what we could do? We could see beloved Canadian songbird, Celine Dion. She is to die for.
All right, so now let's put it to practice again. So let's look at a couple situations. The first one, say you just went to the movies and your friend asks you, how was the movie? So instead of saying it was good, what could you say? Now let's say a very common situation. You go over to your boyfriend or girlfriend's house for dinner and you want to compliment their mom or dad on the meal. So instead of just saying the food was good, what could you say? All right, so now we are on the final stretch. We are going to get into the ones that you can use with close friends. Now, of course, you don't need to feel pressured to sound really cool by trying to use a bunch of slang with your friends. You can use any of the ones that we've learned up until now, but maybe you want to sound a little bit more casual, a little bit more trendy with your friends, then of course you might want to use some of these. Or maybe you just want to understand what your friends are saying. So the first ones would be tight and nice. We actually saw nice before, but the interesting thing with these first two is that sometimes natives will even alter the pronunciation. So instead of saying tight or nice, they'll say toit or noise. And this can also happen with other adjectives or other words that in a casual way, people will kind of morph the pronunciation. Let's look at a couple examples of this from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Sarge, I was wrong. He totally matters.
This year's scenario. Terrorists have stormed the Capitol Trust Bank building and have taken hostages.
Nice.
And step, and knees around the world.
Great form, Captain. Your calves are looking toy.
Jacqueline! What a surprise!
Doug, my dog masseuse turned turntables Turner. How are things?
Not good. My beats were diagnosed with renal failure because they are sick.
Wonderful. Oh, this is my friend Titus. Maybe if you get a little bigger, he can play one of your shows. He's got a ton of heat on him. That's why he's so sweaty.
Toit.
And the next ones are rad and radical, which rad is actually short for radical. Now, these ones were really popular when I was younger, and of course, people my age still use these all the time.
Yeah, she's always saying to me, Uncle Mitch, you're so cool, you're so rad, I'm so glad I talked to you about my problems.
The next one is dank, and this one is a bit of a funny one because the actual definition of this is something generally that is kind of like moldy. I don't know how it became something more positive, but you could say this pizza is dank, which if you were to say it in a bad way, that would mean that the pizza, there's something wrong with it. But generally, if you're saying it in a positive way, like this pizza is dank, that means that it's really good pizza.
Cigarettes on cigarettes, my mama think I stink. I got burn holes in my hoodies, all my homies think it's dank. I miss my cocoa butter.
And a very similar one to dank is dope. Let's check out an example.
What is going on here?
Teddy and I met at Code Camp. It was a voluntary refresher course on police codes. Some long nights of intense memorizing. It was pretty dope.
Sounds dope.
So the next one is bomb. And a lot of times we'll either say that something is bomb. If we were looking at the pizza from before, we'd say the pizza is bomb. But you could also use this in kind of a slang way with the. So we'd say it's the bomb, or we even will morph the into duh. So it becomes the pizza is the bomb. This pizza place that I just found is the bomb. Let's check out some other examples.
Times Square's the bomb! I got so many great pictures of all the billboards.
Yeah, you know there's more to New York than Times Square. There's the Village, Lower East Side, Central Park.
They got better billboards than the ones in Times Square?
No.
Times Square's the bomb!
You might know the next one if you're a fan of How I Met Your Mother because it made this one super famous. That is legendary. Now, the character Barney Stinson uses this all the time, and we'll look at an example, but this is very common in everyday situations with close friends as well.
But you end up most nights alone at a strip club, feeling empty inside, telling yourself your life is somehow epic or classic or legendary.
I never say epic or classic.